Hello there, Smite friends. Welcome to game number 2 of Fnatic versus London Conspiracy here. London Conspiracy takes game number 1, keeping their land dreams alive. And now with an opportunity to close this one out in a second game and secure a land spot.
We're gonna. Oh, hey. Tweet at us.
Who's gonna win? Tweet at us at SmitePro for a chance to win sweet prizes. Let us know. Is it Fnatic, London Conspiracy that you are voting for?
I thought it was between me and you.
On a battle royale?
Wait, like in H1Z1? I'm not good at those.
You mean H1Z1?
I keep losing.
Let's take a look at the jungle matchup, guys.
Got second ones.
As it is, Twiggy and Suntouch out of the jungle. Neither of them really having a very good game last game.
No. Nemesis getting caught out a lot. Suntouch throwing himself out a lot, and he just kind of jumps into the back line and just wound up dead. That's a warrior.
Suntouch is a little bit more impact on the game, getting to the back line a couple times and finding some choice kills. Captain Twig had a couple of decent ultimates that set up kills on the tanks and tankier targets early in the game, but that Nemesis melted more often than not in the team fights. It really was a non-factor.
So, game 2, London Conspiracy needs to win this. If they win this, they're going to be in a really good spot.
They're locked.
They're locked.
They're locked if they win this game. Because they beat Dignitas
That's right.
earlier in the season. So they win that head-to-head if it ends up that way.
But
if they lose a game, though, they don't control their own destiny at that point.
So, Fnatic just needs to win the set.
That's right.
If they win the set, they're locked.
They'll be good.
This is very...
This is a big game.
It's a lot of things.
So this game, you know, is does Fnatic keep their land hopes alive? Or do London Conspiracy go ahead to the land here?
See, I'm
definitely
I'm
an underdog.
As a fan, I'm conflicted because, you know, you got the underdogs with LDNC. It's always fun to root for the underdogs, right? You have your fan favorites, you know, Suntouch, a big streamer. It's always great to meet people like that. It's great. But Fnatic are also like the land monsters. They come up with the new strategies. They come to land and, you know, say, we're going to do this time and try this new strategy. And they're always, like, so much fun to watch. Not to mention, no one pops off like the Fnatic roster.
Yeah, no, they're loud and proud to be Fnatic or
to
SK
get any individual kill.
Yeah, that's right. They're excitable bunch. Bans are mirrored this game. Fnatic once again with the first pick. It's Hudbots and Thor out of the pool right away. Will Athena get left open? She really wasn't that amazing in the last game. They did a nice job of kind of dealing with the Athena. A lot of ability to bail out. It's the tier ban, the respect ban from Fnatic.
Good.
Over to the side of Snakeskin. What else does he have in the pool?
I mean, for me, did Snakeskin win the game for them? No. Was he the 100% reason that the game lasted as long as it did? Hell yes. I mean, that game was won not by Tier getting 1,000 kills, but by the fact that he allowed his Scylla and Xbalanque to get to late game, and he defended the hell out of them.
It's Hercules that's removed from the pool once again by Fnatic. I'm sorry, by London Conspiracy. So identical bans to the last game with the exception of that Tier banned out by Fnatic. Will they first pick the Athena again? I would say yes, but
just wait.
It didn't win them the game last time.
No, it'll be Bellona.
Wow, first pick Bellona.
I mean, it should have been first ban Bellona, and this time we're going to see it from Fnatic. Now remember, she is a very strong jungler. She's a decent solo, although she will lose pretty heftily to certain matchups, most notably Hades.
I don't know. I think they're overvaluing this god here.
Oh, I disagree. I think you're undervaluing. I don't think you've found her yet.
I haven't. I mean, I understand, you know, the power of an invade, but
wow, Sylvanus.
Well, he was the other banned last game.
Getting favored over Athena though. Getting banned first before the pick, and now getting picked.
Now, if London Conspiracy are meta boys, they'll pick the Athena anyway and put it in the solo lane, but they won't. They'll take Sylvanus Xbalanque, which is an exceptionally good lane.
Yes. Well, maybe not lane.
They complement. They just complement each other really well, right?
So, such as in the end game or even the mid game, it's like I hit really hard and you can heal me and knock people up. Let's kill things.
Yeah, and in the laning phase, Sylvanus brings the clear that Xbalanque lacks in the early stages of the game.
That's true.
Get kind of even footing into the mid stages of the laning phase. So, complementing in that respect in the laning phase at least, but. On the side of Fnatic, if you're just joining us, you're probably asking, how the hell did they get these 2 picks?
Yeah, right, and here comes the on her as well, most likely. Although there are a few other options. Ra going to be locked in, okay.
Ra?
Have we seen Zero's play Ra?
I just think this god is the best god in the game by a pretty wide margin.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Ra is crazy, dude. You kidding?
Them Lotus Crown boys?
Yeah, Lotus, I mean, especially with Lotus Crown. I mean, he's kind of always been one of the best gods. But Lotus Crown, I think, makes him a very high priority target, at least in my book.
And with that, Aphrodite's going to get locked in. Okay, so this is for Snakeskin. I was switched. I thought that was going to be for Maniac. This is for Snakeskin.
Now, Aphrodite, she's an interesting god right now.
I think she's crazy good.
There's definitely some upsides and downsides. She's going to be very good when paired with Xbalanque or any kind of hyper-aggressive assassin they want to pair it with. Her laning phase...
She, to me, is the best endgame god, period.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, well, immunity to damage is exceptionally good once all gods have scaled really high, so.
And being able to increase Xbalanque's damage by 20%, like, Lord in heaven. Heal them, you know, apply slows with back off. I mean, that's going to make them very, very scary. The issue is, I don't think we've seen Snakeskin play this god.
So, on her and Bastet, the two kitties are banned from the pool here. Where's Serqet these days?
I have no idea. Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad pickup either, considering you can link her with Aphrodite.
And shuts down the healing out of the realm.
That's true. That's true. Or Serqet could be drafted by Fnatic, and they can try to shut down the healing of Aphrodite.
But it is Nemesis.
Nemesis, a bit curious against this lineup. I mean, so far there really aren't a lot of tanky targets. I mean, of course, Athena, but I mean, are they going to try to kill the Ra? I kind of saw a little more of an assassin base. I mean, of course, Nemesis is an assassin, but something like Kali try to get to the back line. But there's your Serqet part.
Yeah, even an Arachne would have made sense in that situation. Although Arachne will outpace Aphrodite pretty easily. There's your Serqet, yeah, as you mentioned. Well, obviously, it's a pretty obvious pick, to be perfectly frank, against the Aphrodite there. Left open and secured. London Conspiracy valuing the ability to kill Bellona and Athena before the fights start. And Fnatic's going to close this one out with, well, arguably Real's best god in Ram.
I mean, I like this. You know, I talked about it once before. I was watching the TSM Invitational, and I swore to God that they were playing on land with how well he was playing. Like, I've never seen anyone hit so many of those shots.
So this does mean, though, you know, that we're going to put Bellona in the solo lane here.
Yes.
Or mid lane, potentially, I suppose. As the Ra and her likely to be the two solo laners on the side of Fnatic, we can be pretty certain. They're London Conspiracy kind of selecting their last pick, and, well, they get a little bit of leeway as well. You know, they could do some shenanigans with Aphrodite mid if they wanted to get a much more favorable matchup against Bellona, but
they're going to run it back.
They're going to take the Scylla back. This time with the advent of the Nemesis. What they don't have, though, is the reliable CC to set her up like they did last game. It'll be mostly Sylvanus, maybe a Kiss to set up the Imo monsters.
Yeah, not a very CC heavy team. They got the cripple, right? You know, they have the
pretty
Kiss.
CC anemic game as a whole.
That's true. I mean, yeah, Rama not really bringing much besides cripples and slows. Serqet has a few. Ra having pretty much nothing besides slows. Athena has a taunt, and then Bellona, of course, has a stun.
Yeah, small advantage. Well. I mean, advantage to Fnatic certainly there, but it's not, you know, we don't have an Amir. We don't have these kind of, you know, CC-oriented gods. Like Serqet, it's just not AoE CC, right? It's very single target oriented, similar to Scylla and Aphrodite on the side of London Conspiracy. But we're underway with game number 2, guys. LDNC is up 1 game. Let's go and introduce them as we're riding along with Shaggy Shank. He's going to be your hunter in the dual lane along with a Mealsy. They'll leave Snakeskin in the solo, Suntouch in the jungle, and Arrow as your mid laner. Their opponents are Fnatic wearing the blue trunks out of the bottom side of the minimap and the left side of your spectator UI. It's going to be Maniac as your solo lane Bellona, Captain Twig in the jungle as Serqet, Zeros in the mid lane as Ra, and Badja plus Reels as your dual lane as Athena and Ram.
You'll notice the hardcore grouping here on the right side for London. As you see, Maniac with Heavy Hammer, Potion, Ward is looking for blood. If Aphrodite gets hit by this, she has 2 options, right? And that's going to be kiss them or hit them with back off and hope that the Heavy Hammer runs out. That's all she can do to get away from Maniac.
My concern here for Fnatic is that their team composition isn't really good at anything. You know what I mean? Like, they're an okay siege team maybe, but besides that, the composition here is kind of a hodgepodge of mid-game and late-game powerhouse teams. No real push potential outside of the Ra plus Ram. No kind of secondary healer or tank frontliner. They do have a little bit of that Bellona Athena ability to frontline, but Bellona's going to be your solo laner, not involved too much in the early fights.
They're not going to invade with this?
Versus London Conspiracy, who's a damn near pure late-game team here. Aphrodite, Nemesis, Scylla.
They're going to invade. Right side, they're going for blue buff first, which means they're going to try to invade the blue buff afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to go right for it.
They're going to try to catch the timing.
This is smart.
So they'll have the right timing, but there is a ward to spot them out. We'll see where they actually hold up here. I don't think they're in, no, they're not in vision of that ward just yet. Taking actually quite a bit of time for Nemesis and Aphrodite to clear that out, but with only 1 hog between the 2 of them, 1 hog between the 2 of them, they realized reset, and there's not much they can do about this one here, although Serqet and Bellona not too keen to get it started themselves. Here we go.
Suntouch should be dead here. Yeah, that's guaranteed.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, wait,
maybe a kiss?
He started with dash, so he's not going to have the Scourge. You know, with that, I mean, realistically, they needed to rely on him getting a little bit closer, Suntouch putting himself out of position. The Scourge would have done it, but you can't do it with shield at level 1.
My goodness gracious. That was an interesting little early skirmish there. But I guess slightly to the credit of Fnatic here. They're going to get the lane control out of it at least. They're going to do some DC damage to Suntouch as well, who's chain slowed. But yeah, with that shield bash is the only option for Maniac there. Can't put out that same kind of pressure that the Scourge can. But they're going to go ahead and rotate back and try to take this big camp out of the blue buff for their own.
Yeah, look at this. Captain Twig getting kind of low here, but there won't be any invade. This will be guaranteed, and with that, Twig is not in a bad spot. You know, he has his Hand of the Gods coming up in a few seconds. The creeps have met up.
Can you hit it? Where's your taunt, buddy?
He got it. Oh, they didn't follow it up. There was Maniac on that one.
That was weird. That was a weird engagement there. Sounds like Maniac was saying, maybe Maniac was saying no, but he still threw it anyway.
Maybe they just backed off because he missed the first one. Didn't
the first
expect
one
him
went
to hit
to
the
Raw.
second.
That was a weird engagement.
It was very weird indeed. But with that, Suntouch still gets put in an awkward spot. Now, Nemesis is not known for her early game, right?
No.
I mean, this is not a character that functions very well in the first 3 minutes of the game. And with that, Suntouch notably having some growing pains here. But it's going to be up to him to try to lock this down. They need to get Snakeskin to pretty much level 7, right? Level 7 is where things get easy for Aphrodite. But he's gone into this early breastplate, which is going to kind of stagnate his growth.
Well, right side, bit of an engagement. Reels, if he gets taunted. I'm sorry, if he gets pulled, he could be in a bit of trouble there, but the shield wall makes it a little bit hard for Emilzy and Shaggy Shank to really aggress into the tower. Zeros plus Captain Twig in the mid lane, pushing old Arrow back under his tower, but as we saw early game, just let it happen, Arrow. just lay back and just let it happen, because you ain't making it out of that one alive. It's first blood for Fnatic after a brilliant setup there by the Serqet.
This is going to be a quick one, it looks like. You know, they're shutting down Scylla the way they should have last game. Nemesis still level 3 in almost 3 minutes comparatively to Twiggy, who just procced into 5. Maniac has Snakeskin locked under this tower, and with Snakeskin's build, he doesn't have a build that's going to lend well to healing in the end game. Granted, he is going to go into cooldown reduction, but how is he going to compete with Maniac at this stage?
Left side camp is a little weird. It's kind of like Emilzy looking at Captain Twig and then just saying, fine, you can have it.
Oh, man. Maniac is just laying waste to him over here on the right lane. And that's a healer that he has at low health, keeping locked under the tower. I mean, that kind of stuff shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at the end of the day, it is Aphrodite, and her only real weakness in the entire game is going to be those first, like, 4 levels, I guess. You kind of have to choose if you want to max Love Burst, or you take your ultimate, or you take your back off, how much you level it all, but eventually she gets to the point where she just literally can't die.
Left side, now they have Athena, right? We haven't seen much from the ultimate yet. He just got into 5, but we're getting to the stage where now Badger can have a better effect on the game. Now, we didn't really see a lot of Defender of Olympus last game, mainly because, I mean, you're not killing Tyr, right? Scylla's being very, very safe. Are they going to give them an opportunity, like, you know, by stepping out of position to give Badger a shot at this one?
And honestly, in most of the late game engagements, the Athena ultimate had to be used on Poseidon, just so he had any relevance to try to get in and cast the Kraken.
Yeah, I mean, it's 25% damage reduction to the player who's being channeled on. So, I mean, it can do pretty well in terms of keeping people alive, but I'm looking at Twiggy here. Is he going for the steal?
He looks like
Arrow is here as well. They
can see him. He's kind of
this is not a good idea.
Times, and yeah. Now noting that the mid laner's at those back camps, so he gets a little bit of valuable information for the team. But so I mean, you could see on the other side, Zero's going back for his own back camp, noting that Scylla was out of the lane there. But it's a limited amount of knowledge that they get out of that rotation.
Taking the safe way back to lane, Snakeskin and Suntouch. They don't have a blue buff coming up for about another 40 seconds or so, which is going to be hard for Snakeskin. He's level 6 now. Things are starting to cost a lot. Right, he's sitting at about 150 mana. Now remember, the cost of Undying Love is just straight up 100. He doesn't even have enough for it right now, so he's going to take that notice and he's going to back. Yeah,
I'll take the trip back to the base now. Go ahead and maybe try to finish off this Breastplate of Valor sooner rather than later. He'll get rank 2 plus rank 2 boots, so just selecting for a little bit of additional protection, not really going for the full.
That's really a curious choice, to just not like save the gold and get it done, or to just not go into level 2 and finish the boots, right?
Yeah, what good do the boots do here? I mean, you're at a boot disadvantage. The Bellona has completed boots, so it's not like you're going to be able to kite.
This should have just been Shoes of the Magi. I mean, if he has Shoes of the Magi and he's level 7, he clears the archers with
I'm
birds.
looking for sprint here just to deal with that heavy hammer. Plus, it scales really well into heavily agility for this character.
I can't believe that Maniac actually hasn't killed him at this point. I mean, he's kind of given Aphrodite license to stick around. I thought we were going to see a dive, but Maniac, you know, might be playing with a little bit of nerves here.
He's got 300 gold and a level, though. It's pretty decent.
And heavy hammer against no sprint.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that fact, you know, likely should have lent itself to a kill, but he has built an advantage out of it nonetheless by shoving waves into the tower.
There it is. I knew it was coming. Undying Love She hits the back off as well. Serqet, Deathbane on cooldown. This is in trouble.
And the hammer and the taunt, and that's going to pop.
Yeah.
And that'll also take care of those minions. Maniac throws out one more heavy hammer swing, and down they go. They also shovel full wave into the tower, which is nice for them. Zeros, he'll toss out an ultimate, and as well as a #1 to go ahead and clean up that camp left side. Emilzi's trying to get there and turn the corner. Zero says, I've had enough. I've used basically everything on that right side camp. We'll go ahead and let this one trade to Conspiracy. But nice play by Ra there. That could have very easily been a double camp for LDNC at the second spawn. But he dumps everything into it and secures it for the squad.
They have 2 kills so far. They're up 1,300 gold. And they have a Bellona that's like pretty massively in the lead at this stage. It's only 500 gold, but I mean, you look at Aphrodite, she just got sent back. She's about a level and a half down. Right, go over to the other side. Xbalanque hanging out, right, doing well. In fact, has a lead over Reels. I mean, but Xbalanque is not going to have the same level of protection. He doesn't have the tier blocking him this time, right? I mean, he has a Sylvanus instead of Geb, which means no shields. This could be a much different game.
This is a big engagement. If they're able to get a kill here, they're not. But here's some interesting kind of stats about the game so far. The Ra is 600, nearly 700 gold ahead of the Scylla, plus a level.
Right.
You're also looking at the Scylla, who's about that same amount ahead of Suntouch, who's a level behind in 600 gold as well. But in the duo lane, Shaggy Shank has just been stomping on Reels, has the level advantage plus 400 gold to his credit.
I mean, that's the issue, though, right? Like, it's Rama. He does a lot of damage. He has a decent clear. But, I mean, if you fight Xbalanque, you will die. I mean, Rama, he's not clearing as fast as he did in Season 1, so he's not that same level of threat. And Xbalanque is doing just as much, if not more damage than he did in Season 1 as a comparison.
Well, in the first eligible best of 3, Bellona's been picked in 2 out of 2 games so far. So the pros definitely, they seem to like this god. We'll see where she ends up. But so far, the solo laning phase, it's been a little bit of a gift to Maniac here. Hasn't really had much contention to the Aphrodite. Such a passive farmer out of Snakeskin. All things told, it does look to be a little bit more of a winning effort though than what we saw out of Suntouch's jungle Bellona last game.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to have a little bit better control over the character. He's gone into Lightblade here. Now, this has 2 options. Generally, you're not going to see Chins this early, so it could be Executioner, considering the fact that there was... But, I mean, the real story is the fact that
Emilzi is going to be enough.
Emilzi's just getting destroyed. That's the second gank attempt that we've seen in 90 seconds on this lane, and Emilzi just didn't see it coming.
Reels is going to take to the sky to try to avoid a lot of this damage, but he... appears at least to be dead to rights. He's going to put us some bonus damage on Sun. Shaggy Shank, he's actually some trouble. Shield Wall's enough there.
What?
And now they're going to taunt Arrow as well, and away goes Rom. How did they bail him out of that one? It seemed to be certain death, and Fnatic somehow is going to make it out of this one with 2 kills to their credit. What the hell?
I have no idea how he was able to just thread the needle with that roll there and get out of there safely. I mean, there was really no reason for that to happen. But, you know, Emilzi, his ult comes back up after he goes down. They're not going to get any Gold Furies off of it, but they get a big rotation. They lost a lot of creeps to the tower on the red side. This is going to be big trouble. 4 kills at this stage with this roster. I mean, that's going to be hard to deal with.
It's the presence of mind out of Reels there. Finds his target, puts the shots out on a Shaggy Shank, allows for the kill to come out, and then the coordination with Badger there to use a shield wall and not taunt just to secure that kill on a Xbalanque because the 3rd shot was coming through, and then taunt away so Rom could roll. Just absolute brilliant fight execution by Fnatic there.
It really just looked at one point that Badger was just going in to try to clean the kill up. But it turned into so much more than that and so quickly. And this is the reason that, you know, we've seen them at LAN so many times and seen them, you know, constantly overcome the adversity placed against them, like when they beat the TSM roster at the regional LAN. I mean, they are just incredible players under pressure, and I think that's where they strive. Very similarly to Titan is they have, I think, a big weakness in playing down to their opponents if they feel like they're not as skilled. But as soon as they're presented with a challenge, which is definitely what London Conspiracy has brought to the table here with a first game win, they rise to the occasion, and Game 2 has been nothing short of just a statement.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting moving into Split 2, assuming that, you know, London Conspiracy kind of stays together with this roster to see how this team progresses into a longer split.
I really hope there's no changes to the roster. I hope that, you know, on the off chance that they lose the set with the advantage, I don't want to see any roster changes. There's some growing pains here. There's some chemistry issues, but that will come with time. And if they make it through this LAN, though, I see very much what we saw in the COG Red roster last time.
Right,
Just growth.
Yeah, could very potentially be a team that's, if they're able to kind of keep it together, really contesting for that one of those European qualification spots for the World Championship.
Look at this guy. You see this guy?
Yeah, Maniac fears nothing.
He's not going to get anything either.
He'll get dotted up a bit and fall back, and Aphrodite will be the benefit of that heal a bit, but she's taking the long way to damage items in team fight. It's a Breastplate of Valor coming out quick and early, as we mentioned. It's sprint plus boots too as well. This is purely survive the laning phase kind of build, and already one death to her credit. Every member of London Conspiracy has died at this point outside of Sun Touch in the jungle, but as we mentioned already, he has fallen behind and continues to fall behind now, as it's about 800 gold that separates the Serqet and the Nemesis, as Serqet continues to find kills around the map, involved in 3 of the 4 kills so far for Fnatic. Sun Touch could be in some trouble here, though, as here comes Reels. There's the ultimate from Captain Twig. Reels is going to make his way out of this fight, at least for the moment. Sunny's in some trouble. There is the first ultimate from Arrow, and it's not even really close there, unfortunately.
No, that was a big whiff into the sky. Rama's going to lay some damage down, and again, escape.
Snipe.
Arrow's not close enough
Zeros,
for this
no.
one.
There's a dash away. Doesn't matter. Serqet is there with the taunt out. Here comes Zeros. He'll have a heal available for Badger, who does get rooted out by the Sylvanus there, and he'll go down to crush damage. And this could actually turn into a Gold Fury for London Conspiracy if Fnatic isn't careful.
Yeah, Bellona needs to get out of the base here. There is a rotation over from Aphrodite, and she is linked to Arrow, which is going to be dangerous.
Twig's going to run away here, and this will just leave the Gold Fury open. What are they going to do to contend against this here? Maniac, he's going to teleport in, and he's going to have a great opportunity to find the Sun onto a Mulesy, but where's the follow-up damage from the Ra and the Serqet? It's just Maniac on the front lines now. Here comes the rest of the team. There's a Smite coming through. A Mulesy made invulnerable by the Aphrodite and healing up, but it's not enough just yet. Now it's Snakeskin that Maniac's going to turn his attention to. Shaggy Shake and Captain Twig with a fight in the back lines here. Can they keep the slow on? They can indeed. Down will go Snakeskin, and London Conspiracy without real damage items up on their Xbalanque can't take care of that Gold Fury fast enough. Now it's going to be Arrow in some trouble underneath the tower. He is going to be blown up. Twig, what are you doing, bud?
Twig's giving a kill to Nemesis, it looks like.
Yeah, Twig gives a gift.
Wait, Arrow got a kill as well?
And
What
Arrow
in the hell just happened?
I don't. Somehow.
That was Throw Boys.
Just, yeah, sloppy fall from Fnatic there. But space created, I guess, as Reels is going to have his way with this tower. A new wave coming in as well. His attack speed steroid was active there. He's going to take this thing down to about 50% before Shaggy Shank can close the distance.
Right side, Zero's picking up that camp right before it looks like Sun Touch was able to get over there. They threw 2 kills away. That was a 7-1. They changed it 8-3, which is not a great win for them, but they still maintain a pretty massive lead to the tune of 5,400 experience and 3,600 gold, which is unfortunately for them, mainly on Bellona, it seems, as there is a 3-level advantage between the solo laners, and it looks like Aphrodite has gone into full CDR here and does have boots too. She's not going to have any damage.
Yeah, I mean, well, Bellona gets a lot of that experience out of the last team fight there, where really had a beautiful angle and cleaned up really well. Executioner online as well for Bellona, so a little bit more postured to be a carry this game than we saw last game with kind of the chin size and a lot of utility items out of the Ichvile and Heavy Hammer, so a little bit more damage oriented out of Bellona this go round. And yeah, I think he really kind of called it here with how the mid game's going to be for LDNC. Is Snakeskin is just not really any threat at all until he gets at least an item out that does some damage.
I would assume. Actually, it's going to be too hard to assume. I don't know what he's going to go into. I mean, Lotus Crown seems like if he's going to go with this build, like the best bet. But I mean, there's so much damage lacking there. Perhaps he could go Spear to try to increase Scylla's damage.
He shouldn't do Lotus Crown. I mean, it should be the Sylvanus building a Lotus Crown if they're going to get one here.
Oh, that's right. They have a Sylvanus.
Right, they have an AoE healer. She's already built into physical protection out of that Breastplate of Valor, so it doesn't probably, or ideally shouldn't be forced into buying a second physical protection item.
Well, with that, I think we need to see more healing reduction come out, or at least we normally would have, is if this was any other game, but at 14 or almost 15 minutes, Badger's like, no, I play Smite at a professional level. I will buy Weakening Curse.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, it's a Weakening Curse coming out for Badger now, and, well, he's all on top of it there. He doesn't want to incur the wrath of DM Brandon.
I mean, just like, it's really frustrating to watch healers just heal over and over and over and not get checked for it.
Well, it's Ra doesn't seem to be any rush on the side of Fnatic here, being captained by and piloted by Zeros, to pick up a Lotus Crown of his own. It looks like he's to be building into either a Warlocks or an Ethereal, most likely. Probably the Warlocks is. It looks like Fnatic's in control of the laning phase.
It could be Asclepius.
I guess it could be. Could be bonus healing boys. He could go Asclepius into the Lotus Crown.
I mean, realistically, it wouldn't be that bad, right? I mean, movement speed on Ra is never a bad thing.
No, it's not, and it grants a lot of power. It grants the bonus healing. Synergizes well with Lotus Crown. Synergizes well with AoE healer like Ra. So it's an option, although what it doesn't provide you is a absolutely crap ton of HP, which most of the other options in this tree do provide.
That's fair.
They provide some, but not that much.
Well, a small timeout coming there from London Conspiracy. They're back into the game. Everything's good. Just, I guess, discussing strategies and whatnot. And with that, they're still, pretty far behind. They do need to change some stuff up, so perhaps the short break will have got them on track.
Zeros, Badger, and Twig. They're going to try lane down the mid lane here. Nemesis is off farming back camp. Sylvanus is rotated in, but they want to pressure this tier 1 in the mid lane. It is really, really low on the side of London Conspiracy. So, yeah, I mean, the tower damage advantage is to the favor of Fnatic in both the left and middle lane. Right side lane, Bellona has taken about 50% of her tower on the side of that Athena. I'm sorry, the Aphrodite has done a fairly decent job with the one wave she was able to push in the tower of getting some tower damage down. Mid camp's coming back up now. And left side looks like, or sorry, right side looks like it will be Fnatic's. Left side, Serqet in position here and maybe ready to make a play as well.
Looking at Twig, left side camp's going to go to blue as well. It doesn't look like London can catch a break here.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty nice and important pickup there for them.
I mean, at this point, anything they steal away is going to be just paramount.
Well, I mean, it's the extra golden experience to the Watcher's gift Athena. Right, she was involved in both of those, and that's really where it's going to be most meaningful. Yeah,
I mean, it's a pretty big deal, right? An extra 4 gold. I mean, 16 gold doesn't seem like a lot, but if that happens a few times, that winds up turning into, like, item levels.
Right. Well, here we go. Shaggy Shank, he is going to already have used his leap to get away from this one, plus the poison.
Oh, the body blocks!
Plus the snipes, plus the body blocks.
Oh.
Fnatic, once again, executing just exceptionally well in this left side lane. Twig and Real's on the same page.
I know I'm a fanboy for Twig because I love Joust, right? And I understand that when I talk about his abilities to do things, I like to mention Joust. But you can't learn body blocks and Joust like that to help your teammate hit Rama ults.
No, that's probably the thousands and thousands of games he's played.
That's just Twig being godlike.
All right, so we got what looks like maybe a Witchblade coming out.
We're not going to talk about that.
For Nemesis. And it is a Lotus Crown, most likely committed by the Aphrodite here.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to build from that.
I guess you could build
crit reduction.
No, but she could build Dynasty Plate and get the penetration plus physical protection.
I mean, if you're going to build Dynasty Plate Helm, it would just have been better to just scrap the whole build at that point.
We saw it build to some effect last week. Why? Okay, Emilzes takes a bit of damage. Arrow finds a 2-man Sick'em, and then he says, "Go kill Emilze, leave me alone, damn it." And there's the Heavenly Agility, waiting for that one to come out. Emilze's getting dove a bit, but Captain's Weak too low, and was the first one under tower. He's forced to fall back. Sunny does get pushed out of the lane here. Arrow makes a little bit of an aggressive play, and Real's perfectly happy to backpedal and deal the damage. Tower getting fairly low, but it does leave Aphrodite completely unchecked as Maniacs made the rotation, looking for the backstab here. Is this team going to be a rally to him? Because if not, they're going to just give up their tier 1 for free here. He's going to try to make his way to the front line.
Well, the Gold Fury is still going to get started, right?
Gold Fury started up on the side of Fnatic.
Maniac's just hanging out in the front line going, come on, guys, don't you want to stop your team from losing all this gold?
We'll take it for free, but I'm not sure they couldn't just take that anyway after forcing Emilze all the way back to the base to just kind of give up their tier 1. Shaggy Shank, do they have the taunt? Over the top comes Maniac. He'll kill Arrow, who does not have enough to kill off Twig. Now going to run down Shaggy Shank as well. And here comes Ra rotating in. Romsnipe's coming through as well. Emilze taking the brunt of that damage. Badger continuing to tank out the tower. And now fighting in that Bellona ultimate with the bonus protections that they have and the heal coming up from the Ra. It's a free tier 1 plus a Gold Fury for Fnatic. And they have taken this game very, very squarely and built a big lead against London Conspiracy, who really, this game is in danger of slipping out of reach for them very, very quickly.
Snakeskin finally makes his rotation over. 500 gold earned for him as he does take the tower, but it seems ineffective at this stage. There's still 8 kills down, 6,500 gold in the hole, and with no level 20s on the board, the 9,000 experience difference is completely clean.
Continuing to harass in the front line is Maniac, who, since we last checked in, is working towards a little bit of crowd control reduction, a little bit of mitigation on his side, and his Cloak of Concentration.
Okay, so yeah, going to be going into defense here. Not to mention cooldown reduction. This is going to be a 15% jump as well. And remember, you're not healing for a lot, right? I mean, the Scourge healing every 3 hits, you're getting, I think, 50 with the current patch. And with that, you don't want a large health pool because it's going to be very difficult to get that health back. You want a lot of defense to make the health more effective. And that's what he's doing here. He's getting both defenses, cooldown reduction, and he's going to get a lot of damage reduction with that passive as well.
Jade Mountain Helm complete for Snakeskin at rank 2, likely to be that Lotus Crown. Here we go, right side, it's Snakeskin they jumped onto, but they've lost a lot of their spells getting in there, going over the wall with the ultimate was Maniac. Captain Twig, he's out of spells as well. It's just Badger dashing away in the front line, but it's 4 men strong over here on the right side for London Conspiracy. Ra gonna make his way back to the mid lane, not looking to go maybe try to make a play on the left side. No CC to help set up a kill on a Xbalanque. It's now Well, an ultimate just for Badger. They're going to try to clean him up. I mean, it has to turn into a Fire Giant for it to be worth it, given all the ultimates they're going to use here to clean him up. Kiting around Scylla's Badger, and away he goes. He's going to be okay, at least for the moment, dashing forwards arrow. But it's a big taunt coming out. Zeros with the snipe. It's only going to hit one, and now he's found himself into a little bit of a difficult situation. To the back line goes Twig. What are you going to find, Twiggy? Ooh. Not your death just yet as he dashes away from it with the zigzag. Maniac now, he's the front liner. And it's Reels with a beautiful angle here to find everything. Can he get the chainsaws? It's a first shot route out from Emilzy, the passive, saving the life of the team there likely. RNGesus on his side for LDNC.
Twig in the back line still, but to the front line. We see Maniac go. Shots raining from the sky. The target turns to Emilzy, who turns back to the base. Suntouch not getting out of this one, even with that shield. Should, oh, wait, the save?
Nope,
no save. No
save for you.
Actually, she had Undying Love, and she had the birds, but she didn't have the mana.
Well, it's a tier 2 on the right side as well, going to the credit of Fnatic on top of everything else that they got. But Shaggy Shank completely left unchecked after that rotation. He'll find 2 towers of his own, but as a Fire Giant is happening now from Fnatic. And this is just a great heads-up play for them, realizing that there's no way for Xbalanque to rally, and it's only Aphrodite available. They'll have plenty of damage to take this one down, and plenty of time for Reels to fall back to his base, even though he is tanking up those boulders. Down it does go. 5 members of Fnatic now wearing the belt of destiny.
This should be a pretty clean win here, right? I mean, last game, 53 minutes, took a long time for them to get anything. This time, with this experience and gold difference and the fact that Shaggy Shank is pretty much dead to rights at this stage, I think this is going to be pretty much GG.
What you going to do,
Twiggy?
Twiggy?
Twiggy, 2 seconds till the ult. That sucks.
Yeah, too bad.
It's
his hand a little early.
One of the worst feelings is when you finally get a chase that doesn't result in your immediate and untimely death. It's just like...
Dude, you called it, by the way.
What's up?
Stop all analysis. Ra is holding a Rod of Asclepius.
I mean, like, it's movie speed, man. Let my man heal.
Yo, is he going to get a Lotus Crown on top of this?
I mean,
so he is, GG.
Dude, like, what are they going to do
What are they going to do
that?
against this Siege? Fire Giant, HP percentage regen, plus Lotus Crown bonus protections, plus Asclepius bonus healing. He's going to be probably healing for each tick of his heal is going to be roughly, I want to say, about the same damage Xbalanque is going to be throwing out with each in-hand if it doesn't crit.
Stop.
No, but it's going to be probably 150, 160 plus per tick.
It's 68 plus another 180 on top of that, plus 15%.
So 68 plus 180, you're going to be 250, give or take,
right?
Plus another 20%?
Yep.
So
15%.
Yeah, 15%. Okay, so
you're looking about 300 a tick.
A little under 300, yeah.
That's
what Xbalanque is going to be hitting for without crits, dude.
Are we doing that math
That
wrong?
sounds crazy. I hope we're not doing the math right. Because here comes Reels. He's going to take to the sky. Where is that big boy healer coming on the rock? Here comes Bellona, ported into the ward. Over the top she comes with a 2-man stun as well. The counter initiation is here. Suntouch trying to stay relevant in the back line, but he's being pushed out with the burst damage coming through. There's a snipe from Zeros as well on the Ra. But that will be the end of the initiation. It looks like, at least for the moment, as Fnatic will let the percentage HP do its trick. And well, I wish you could see the HP values, but suffice to say that Maniac
217.
217 per tick out of this heal right now, and that's before Lotus Crown is done, so he's going to get another percentage boost on top of that.
I mean, just like...
That's impossible to fight into. Actually impossible.
217.
Actually impossible to kill somebody.
I don't see a weakening curse, Bart.
No weakening curse.
I don't see a Divine Ruin. I don't see a Brawler's Beat Stick.
They have nothing.
What I see is a bunch of defense and not very much damage.
They do have 2 Lotus Crowns on the side of London Conspiracy, though. Because that's good. Those stack. Wait, no, they don't. Definitely don't. Not sure why there's one on Aphrodite, to be honest.
Can't activate on the same target again for 10 seconds. No, they will not.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was being facetious. They definitely don't stack, so...
So this is my issue, right, with Snakeskin, is his tier, unbelievable. He can transfer that skill to Warriors, because generally the builds are going to be the same, but we see him switch to Mages for one of the few times we've seen this so far, and I mean, this build has completely shut his team down in the lane that carried them last game.
Pure utility, physical protection, CDR build.
And she has no movement speed. Right,
she does have the Heavenly now.
She has Heavenly, sure, but she has no movement speed except for the boots. No winged wand.
You know what Ra has, though? Asclepius, Lotus Crown, and a Heavenly. So actually, he has even more bonus healing.
Plus, he has a ridiculous amount of damage given the fact that he has Chronos Pendant instead of Breastplate.
This is ridiculous.
Everything Fnatic has done this game has just been better than what London has done. And maybe it's inexperience on London's part, but Fnatic's veteran teamwork, veteran understanding of the game, knowledge of the meta, and overall just ability to outplay their opponents, aside from the one debacle in the mid lane, has spelt an absolutely ridiculous mid game. And now as we get into the end game, all 5 of them still have the Fire Giant. That's still going to be up for another 30 seconds. I don't know if it's going to be enough time for them to siege anything, but even without
just take map control.
Like, they can't be killed.
They've drawn a line in the sand now, right? Right alongside that red and orange buff on London Conspiracy side of the map. It's just pure control by Fnatic. And, well, here's a question for you, Brandon. At the end of this game, who will have healed more, Sylvanus plus Aphrodite or the Ra himself?
I would say just Ra.
I think so as well. We'll find out when we get to the end here, and that could be sooner rather than later, as we're 26 minutes in, and Fnatic is knocking on the door with a Fire Giant buff still active for just another couple seconds, and away it goes, so I eat my words. But Badger finds his way to the backline, gets rooted out again by Emilzy, basically on his first hit. Sun Touch, he's going to try to make the play on Reels, but no, you just instead get destroyed by the Serqet. Puts a couple of in-hands, going to try to chase him down. Down will go Sun Touch as that in-hand comes through with a percentage damage. Over the top is Ram with his ultimate, nearly killing Arrow, but Maniac almost dying in return. Captain Twig to the backline. Aphrodite ultimate used just to get their Scylla back to the pool. That's not how you want to use that ultimate.
And again, that was without a Fire Giant.
Yeah.
Right? The Fire Giant ended right as that engagement started. There was
Reels
no
just
FG.
missed like 17 shots.
And right there,
love the guy, but damn, he missed.
Snakeskin just threw out the birds to top Shaggy Shank off by about 100, but he wastes the Lotus Crown pass.
Yes, now 10 seconds for the Lotus Crown for Shaggy Shank, who effectively needs to be their frontliner right now. Just a drain take altogether. It's a 3-man taunt. This could very well be the end, and the snipe comes through the burst damage as well. Oh, bye-bye, London Conspiracy. This one's going to Fnatic. There's just no way. There's just no way. Brandon's taking off the headset at this point. They're going to walk into the pace and take this one down easy. You can't get caught out with a taunt that big in a situation like this. Fnatic will take a game away from London Conspiracy, and we're going to 3. Brandon's still not talking. He's very discouraged with what we just saw there. It was, I mean, a pretty unreasonable place to get a taunt on 3 people there. It was.
Zeros just took 60% of the health from 3 people.
Yeah, one snipe. I mean, he wasn't even really that built up in terms of magical power.
I mean, look,
I guess the Asclepius still give 100, but
is it 100?
Is 180
it's
or 90? It's a lot.
70?
It's up there.
Then he has the Chronos pendant.
I thought it was quite a bit.
Let me check.
Yeah, let's look. Let's look this up, Brandon.
75.
75. Okay, so it's up there. It's one of the more
Price is Right rules.
One of the higher contributors. You did. But here, no, we got to answer our question first before we go see our first blood again.
Okay.
Okay, who healed more? Ra at 15.6. He blew them away. Snakeskin and Emilzy put out a grand total
6K
of like 6,900 healing.
Yeah, the best
15,500 out of zeros.
He over doubled them.
He doubled the 2 of them combined. Absolutely absurd. Let's take a look at first blood though. As Fnatic takes that one down emphatically over London Conspiracy.
That's kind of what I expected to happen in the first game, and it just didn't. Oh, geez, zeros.
That kill was absolutely phenomenal.
He just sniped all day.
This is a jungler. Right, I mean, basically he's a jungler now, and he transitioned him in such a good way. I mean, you can see those are really heads-up, kind of cerebral plays. Really impressed with Zeros. If you look kind of in comparison to that, you look at Kiki over in North America with a similar story.
Yeah.
And Zeros is really kind of shines in that comparison, especially.
I mean, the difference is that Kiki wants to play, fun-loving characters and have a good time and just outplay people, whereas Zero's like, I want to play Vulcan jungle, and they're like, just go in mid.
Yeah,
right?
just play. Damn it, go mid.
Damn it.
We'll put Twig as to let him fight people. Let's see how this one shook out though in the jungle. It's a 62% control from Fnatic, and well, that even seems. It really doesn't even paint how dominant they were, honestly. 86% of the mid camps.
I feel like we need weight to this. Like, it's, 62%, which doesn't seem like a ton, but I mean, like, 3 Gold Furies and the only Fire Giant.
Right, yeah, that really tells the story
90%.
there. 86%, or roughly 85% of the mid camps and 100% of the major map objectives go their way. And, well, between those 3 metrics, you could be pretty certain that Fnatic won this game.
Yeah, I mean, if they play like that again, we're going to see another quick game. If they draft like that again, it's going to be another quick game.
First pick Bellona. What do you think about first pick Bellona?
I think Bellona's
Did you think she really had enough impact on that game to be first pick?
She should be first ban.
Well,
I'm sorry, she should be second ban because first pick should be like, I want Bellona. I think Bellona might like shift the tier list in my opinion, to where she's kind of like even maybe alone.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
love her.
We do have a player of the game this game though. It could only be Captain Twig, who really played an excellent Serqet.
Perfect.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
damn near. Yeah.
Aside from his one ridiculous death in the mid lane, I mean, he played this game perfectly. And getting the healing reduction onto the right target, not just using the ult for damage every time. The body blocks that he has had all game were ridiculous, but this was getting a little bit towards the end of the game, right before the Fire Giant, and I mean, look at him, right? He doesn't just waste the ultimate. He picks off a target and then throws the remaining target away, and even with that kiss, she had no mana remaining at the last part, cleans it up.
Well, it was the weakening curse plus that Serqet ultimate shutting down healing effectively on 2 targets guaranteed. And it just led to, well, what we saw, in the numbers, right? Under 7,000 healing put out by 2 core healers on the side of London Conspiracy.
Well, I mean, they have Last Breath for healing reduction. Badger at 14 minutes picked up the Weakening Curse. They counterplayed the build. And that's what you're going to build full utility Aphrodite and have 2 healing reductions on the team. You're going to have a bad time.
Well, with that loss, though, London Conspiracy loses the opportunity to control their own destiny. They have to win out over Fnatic here to keep their hopes alive, guys. We'll be back for game number 3, where Fnatic can secure their second win. They will be guaranteed for LAN. If London Conspiracy can find it, they still keep their hopes alive. We'll be right back in about 5 minutes with game number 3. Don't go anywhere, guys. It's London Conspiracy versus Fnatic, the conclusion, coming up next.